In this last video, we will look at how to use the Dropbox option in D2L. Once again, we are at the news page or the first page that you see when you open the Administrative Leadership Orientation site. Right on top, you have the Dropbox button. What is the Dropbox and what do we use it for? Okay, so the Dropbox is basically an area where you can upload files and assignments. This is where you will generally post your final assignments, your project papers. So it is important to know how to use this functionality of D2L. So click on Dropbox and it'll open up a very simple screen. If you notice over here, it says Dropbox test folder and submissions 0. For your different courses, you might find different folders. For example, it could be assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3. And submission 0 means that I have not made any submissions into this folder at this point in time. There's also a little section here that says end date. And this is an important thing to note because in some courses there will be an end date, which means you have to post your assignment in this folder before that end date, because after that end date this particular folder will be locked and you will not be able to upload your assignment anymore. So it's important to make a note of these things. Right, so how do I post a document into this folder? The process is very simple. Once you have created your Word document and it is saved on your computer, what you do now is you click on the folder name that you want to put your assignment in. You choose add a file. Again, very similar to the discussion post, you browse for the particular file that you want to upload over here, and I'm going to look for a file, and let's say I've been working on a book review and I want to put my book review over there. So I choose my book review, I click open, and then I upload it. So if you notice over here, it says book review 1. Let's say this happens to be a mistake. You can always delete it at this point in time. Once you make a submission, you cannot remove a submission. So I'm happy with what I have done over here. I will now click on the submit button. And we're done. And notice it says confirmation email sent successfully, which means in your Panther link email, you will have an email saying that a particular file has been submitted to your Dropbox folder. Now, let's assume that this was not the file that you wanted to submit, or you're making revisions to it and you would like to submit another file to the same folder. That can also be done. What you would do then is you would again, and now notice there's one submission here. I again go back to this test folder. I will once again add the file that is now correct. So I choose my file, I upload it. The first file still remains. The only thing you can do at this point is make a note to the professor over here. So you would say something like, Professor X, this is the latest version of my assignment. Please ignore the previous submission. Thank you. And you hit submit again. So another confirmation email will be sent to you. Now that little note that you see under comments, your professor will also be able to view, and it gives them an idea of what is happening and why there are two submissions over there. They will also know which submission they are supposed to grade and which one to ignore. So these are little things to keep in mind while you are making submissions. Using Dropbox is as simple as that. So once you have viewed this video, and as you are viewing it, what I would encourage you to do, as with the discussion board, is try it out. Upload a document into the Dropbox folder and see what happens. And as with the discussion board, this particular Dropbox will also be checked twice a week. So if you make any postings over here, we will respond to you to tell you how it is going and whether you have been successful. So you know whether the Dropbox is working well for you. And with that, you now have an idea of the most important aspects of the D2L course site that you will be using in your courses. There are a few other things like maybe the course home, which will take you back to the first page. I'm back at my course home page. A class list will give you a list of all the students who are in your class. So that's kind of nice to know who else you're sharing this class with. Chat quizzes might not be active in your particular course, so do not worry about that. Grades is a very important section. Since this is a sample site, we don't have any grades over here, but for all your courses, every assignment that you submit will be graded and the grades will be posted in the grades section. So make it a habit to check your grades section to know how you are progressing through the course and whether you need to improve, or you can contact your professor about any other changes or any clarifications. And that's all that you will need to get started with D2L. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, any doubts, do not hesitate to email ajsamuel@uwm.edu. Good luck with D2L.